The palette of the KOLA Peninsula mixes the colors of the tundra and northern lights, mountains, valleys, and numerous rivers. The amazing place on the shores of the Arctic Ocean equally attracts tourists and Atlantic salmon. The former come to the peninsula for the experience, the latter come to spawn.
Salmon is a collective image. When we say salmon, we can actually mean different kinds of fish.
There are about 50 of them. These include Far Eastern salmon. These include silver and sockeye salmon, Kinloch salmon, cum and others. These include Atlantic salmon, called seomga, and incidentally, taimen are among the salmonids. It may come as a surprise to you that fish such as grilling, car, trout and rainbow trout are also included.
This whole large family is currently experiencing tough times. Salmon populations are declining all over the world. The Atlantic salmon in particular has sad statistics. This species is practically on the brink of extinction. The Russian Salmon Association is engaged in conservation of the noble fish.
In the late 80s, the rivers of Kola Peninsula and Kola Peninsula is considered a fisherman's paradise, as there are more than 100 rivers where the salmon spawns. The Atlantic salmon spawns there too, and it does not die after spawning. Its feature, which is why it is called a starfish. Well, in Soviet times, salmon fishing was prohibited, completely based on scientific research. They did introduce licensed fishing.
It was then that the idea of developing fishing tourism was born. The first fishing camps on the Kola Peninsula appeared in the early 1990s on the Pononi River. Fish was caught on the catch and release principle. This was done by fly fishermen from 38 countries.
What is the principle of this fly fishing? You know, it's sometimes called this fishing or this tackle, aristocrat's tackle, invented by a shepherd, like a shepherd's whip. The same way a cord works, which is a sinker or the heavy part that allows you to release or direct a fly to the point where the fisherman realizes that there might be a fish there at that moment.
A fly is a small lure. It imitates an insect or a shrimp. With this tackle, a good fly fisherman can catch up to 20 to 30 fish per day. But he releases every single fish back into the river. The association actively supports this recreational fishing principle. Also, in cooperation with governmental, scientific, private and non-governmental organizations, it fights poaching, develops ecotourism and restores water bodies. It also participates in international negotiations on draft legislation.
These are negotiations with Norway to ban net fishing of Atlantic salmon in Norwegian waters. And the result is amazing. It is also amazing in a sense that the initiator for those negotiations was a public organization, Russian Salmon Association. We participated and continue to participate in official delegations during the negotiations with Norwegians, and we managed to achieve results. Particularly, Norway has banned the most effective and the most damaging for salmon nets. Now we can confidently say that thousands and thousands of salmon will be able to reach the Kola Peninsula and other rivers in Russia.
The association cooperates with the Federal Agency for Fishery. It is developing and supporting experimental methods of salmonoid reproduction. 2 projects have already been implemented. Salmon reproduction not through fish factories but through incubators.
The fry that are bred in hatcheries on the spawning grounds in their own river have a sense of homing. It's the ability of the fish has to return home. It's the most important thing. We are now supporting the scientists.
A female weighing 8 to 10 kilograms carries more than 20,000 eggs. The catch-release principle gives the fish the opportunity to spawn and reproduce.
The ability to conserve fish while not alienating the fishermen, giving the opportunity to catch and with the funds generated by fishing, carry out resources conservation. It's a unique model.
Some countries are adopting this method and changing their legislation and type of fishing. Based on the Russian experience, another project of the association in this Based on the Russian experience, another project of the association is the salmon cart. It's an excellent tool for preserving these fishes.
There is this great book written by three amazing Norwegians. We brought the rights, translated and published this book.
Мы купили права, перевели эту книгу, переиздали ее.
And it is hugely popular. Children are very well taken by the story of the salmon that travels across the world's oceans, returning to its home.
Который, путешествуя по всему мировому океану, возвращается.
A simple set of rules: protect nature, don't litter, let the fish go, give them a chance to reproduce. Kola Peninsula is the last place on earth where Atlantic salmon has survived in absolutely pristine conditions.
These places look like they did just after the end of the Ice Age. Getting to a place like this and with an ambulance of wild Atlantic salmon is a very powerful emotional experience.
So strong that people return to Kola again and again. Customary tourists, professional fly fishermen, and wonderful fishes, Atlantic salmon. Asia Voloskova, Armin Sargassian, Nikita Dimitrov, TV BRICS with JANHITTIMES.